Let me tell you something that might surprise you. When a man is truly into a woman, when he's emotionally and physically connected, he's not counting abs or measuring waistlines. He's feeling energy. It's the warmth, the softness, the way her body feels real in his hands. Not a magazine idea, but a woman he can hold. There's this moment, and every man who's been with a curvy or chubby woman knows it, when he pulls her close and everything just fits. Her body against his feels like comfort and fire all at once. He's not thinking, is she thin? He's thinking, God, I don't want to let go. Because here's the truth. Men crave connection. They want to feel relaxed, wanted, desired. And chubby women have this natural, magnetic way of making a man feel at home in his own skin. There's no pretending, no pressure, no performance, just presence. And when he's in bed with her, when she owns her body, when she's confident enough to enjoy every moment, that confidence becomes the most erotic thing in the room. So today, let's talk about why men love being in bed with chubby women. And trust me, it's not what most people assume. It's deeper, sexier, and more real than that. When a woman focuses on pleasure rather than performance, the entire energy in the bedroom shifts. It's not about checking boxes or trying to look perfect under the sheets. It's about experiencing the moment fully, allowing herself to enjoy every touch, every kiss, every sigh. That kind of presence is magnetic because it takes all the pressure off the man. He doesn't have to all perform or guess what will please her. She's already showing him what feels good simply by being attuned to her own body and the connection between them. Men are drawn to this because it creates freedom. When she's enjoying herself, she's not self-conscious, she's alive. Her laughter, her moans, her movement become invitations, not instructions, and that freedom allows him to explore, to respond, to give without fear of judgment. The intimacy becomes a dance rather than a performance, a rhythm rather than a routine. It's also incredibly seductive. Men are not just turned on by bodies, they're turned on by energy, by presence, by the way a woman owns her desire. When she's focused on her pleasure, she radiates confidence and authenticity. That energy is far more erotic than any rehearsed moves or attempts to look perfect. This focus on pleasure rather than performance also deepens the emotional connection. He feels seen, appreciated, and trusted. She's not just in the moment for him, she's in it for both of them. That shared enjoyment amplifies every sensation and makes intimacy feel effortless and natural. Ultimately, a woman who prioritizes pleasure creates an experience that is unforgettable. She reminds a man that intimacy isn't a checklist, it's a shared journey of feeling, exploring, and connecting. And that, more than anything, is what makes him crave being close to her again and again. They feel more relaxed and desired with chubby women. When a man is with a woman who's comfortable in her body, who owns her curves with quiet confidence, something inside him softens. He stops performing, he stops overthinking. He stops trying to prove he's good enough because being with her feels safe. Her warmth, her softness, the way she touches him like she's not judging but feeling, it disarms him completely. For once, he doesn't have to be the hero or the show off. He can just be a man, real, imperfect, fully present. That kind of comfort is rare. So many men are used to pressure to impress, to perform, to look a certain way, to live up to unrealistic standards. But when he's with a woman who radiates acceptance, who doesn't make him feel like he's being graded on every move, it's a relief that turns into desire. Because nothing turns a man on more than being fully accepted. And when she looks at him with that soft, confident smile, when her eyes say, I want you just like this, it ignites something deep in him. He feels wanted, not for what he looks like, but for who he is. That's where real chemistry lives. He starts to relax, to let go. And that's when passion flows naturally. Men love that energy, that space where they can breathe, laugh, connect, and feel desired without pressure. Because when she enjoys her body, he enjoys his too. It becomes less about performance, more about presence. Less about perfection, more about pleasure. And that's the magic of being with a woman who makes him feel both relaxed and desired. She awakens not just his body, but his heart. Confidence truly is the real aphrodisiac, and it's something that goes far beyond physical beauty. When a woman walks into a room and she's not comparing herself to anyone else, when she moves with ease in her own skin, when she smiles like she's not trying to prove anything, men feel that. It's not loud, it's not showy, it's subtle, magnetic, irresistible. Because confidence changes the energy she gives off. She doesn't seek approval, she owns her presence. And that quiet self-assurance can make even the simplest outfit look like lingerie in his eyes. When a man is in bed with a woman who's confident, especially a woman with curves, with softness, with substance, it's not about the number on the scale, it's about the vibe she brings. She's not hiding under the sheets or rushing to turn off the lights. She looks at him with a gaze that says, this is me and I'm proud of it. That moment right there is when a man loses all control. because confidence tells him she's not waiting for permission to feel sexy. She's already decided she is. And that energy frees him. It gives him permission to be open, raw, and real too. Confident woman doesn't fake reactions or hold back pleasure. She lets herself enjoy. She's vocal, expressive, unashamed. She knows that her value isn't defined by perfection, but by passion. And when he feels her total comfort with herself, he can't help but be drawn deeper. The truth is, insecurity pushes people away, but confidence pulls them closer. Not arrogance, not ego, but that warm, grounded sense of I know who I am. That's what men crave, because confidence tells him she's not here to impress, she's here to connect. And that turns intimacy into something electric. A confident woman doesn't compete with anyone else. She competes only with the woman she was yesterday. She doesn't chase validation, she radiates it. And that's the kind of energy that stays with a man long after the night is over. It's the memory that keeps replaying in his mind, not just her body, but the way she made him feel excited, wanted, alive. There's something deeply magnetic about a woman who's real, emotionally and physically. When a man is with a woman who isn't pretending, who isn't playing a part, who's not obsessed with looking perfect, he feels something rare truth. And truth is sexy, it's disarming, it's grounding. Because when she laughs, it's not a performance, it's from the heart. When she touches him, it's not about control, it's about connection. He doesn't have to guess what she's feeling because her body and her energy say it all. In a world where so many people are busy filtering their emotions, their photos, their personalities, a woman who's unapologetically herself is unforgettable. She doesn't fake confidence, she lives it. She's not trying to be what she thinks he wants, she's being who she is. And that authenticity draws him in deeper than any illusion ever could. Men crave that honesty, that sense that what they're experiencing is real, not rehearsed. Physically too, it's the same. She's not afraid to be seen, to be touched, to be adored. She doesn't hide behind insecurity. She invites connection through comfort. Her body isn't sculpted by comparison. It's softened by experience, by laughter, by life. And that makes her human. That makes her beautiful. When a man feels that kind of realness in her voice, in her touch, in her energy, he relaxes. He stops performing. He starts feeling. Because she's not trying to impress. She's inviting him to experience something genuine. And that's what men remember most, not perfection, but presence. The way she makes him feel safe to be real too. That kind of woman doesn't just turn him on, she changes him. There's something almost addictive about the way a soft woman feels. When a man wraps his arms around her and feels that warmth, curve, that softness, it's like every muscle in his body finally relaxes. It's comfort and desire wrapped into one moment. Her body doesn't feel sharp or distant, it feels real. It invites him in. It's that beautiful mix of tenderness and heat that makes him want to stay close, breathe her in, and forget the rest of the world exists. Her softness isn't just physical, it's emotional too. It's the way she moves without hurry, the way her touch lingers, the way her body communicates love without words. Men might not always know how to describe it, but they feel it deeply. That softness makes intimacy feel less like an act and more like a connection. It's the difference between friction and flow, between effort and ease. When he lies beside her, it's not just her curves that draw him in, it's the way she makes him feel held. The way her body fits against his perfectly imperfect, naturally comforting, it's instinctive, that deep sense of this feels right. It's warmth, it's home, it's everything a man secretly craves but rarely admits. Men love that softness because it reminds them they don't have to be hard all the time. They can melt too. They can let go. They can be human. And in that softness, they find something they can't find anywhere else. Peace that still feels passionate because when he's with her, it's not just about pleasure. It's about presence, and that's what makes her touch, her warmth, her softness feel like heaven. When a man feels safe being vulnerable with a woman, it changes everything, not just in bed, but in the way he connects with her emotionally. Men are taught from a very young age to be strong, to hold their feelings and to never show weakness. Society tells them that showing emotion is a flaw, that needing affection or reassurance is somehow less than. But when he's with a woman who creates a space where he can drop all of that, where he doesn't have to pretend, where he doesn't have to wear a mask, it's incredibly powerful. Suddenly, he can let go of the tension, the anxiety, the constant pressure to perform or be perfect, and he can simply be. A chubby or curvy woman who is confident, grounded, and secure in herself has a unique ability to provide this sense of safety. Her presence says without words, I see you, I accept you, I'm not here to judge you. That allows him to relax on a level few men ever experience. He can show his true self, his desires, his fears, his softer side, and instead of being met with criticism or impatience, he's met with understanding, warmth, and acceptance. That emotional safety is deeply erotic because it removes the layers of stress and pretense that can interfere with intimacy. When men feel safe, their connection deepens. their body language changes. They're more open, more relaxed, more present. They engage with their partner in a way that's not just physical, but emotional. They want to explore, to give, to experience pleasure fully because they're not afraid of judgment. They know she sees them as more than just a body, more than just a provider, more than just someone to impress. She sees them. This safety also encourages reciprocity. When a man feels accepted, he naturally becomes more attentive, more caring, more willing to nurture her pleasure as well. Vulnerability builds trust, and trust builds passion. What seems subtle on the surface, feeling safe, is actually one of the most intense, irresistible forms of intimacy a man can experience. Ultimately, a man who can be vulnerable with a woman doesn't just feel safe in the moment. He feels seen, desired, and emotionally connected on a profound level. That combination of emotional and physical openness is what keeps him coming back, not just for the touch, but for the experience of being fully himself with her. There's a unique kind of energy that certain women carry, one that is soft, inviting, and effortlessly feminine. When a woman radiates warmth, it's visible in everything she does, the way she smiles, the way she moves, the way she laughs. It's not loud or demanding attention, but it's impossible to ignore. Men feel it instinctively, often without even realizing why. That warmth signals comfort, acceptance, and an emotional openness that is deeply attractive. It's the kind of presence that makes a man want to be near her, to feel her energy, and to connect on a level beyond the purely physical. Femininity is part of this magnetic aura. It's not just about curves or clothing, it's about the way she inhabits her body and expresses herself. Femininity is subtle yet powerful. It's in the gentle tilt of her head, the softness in her voice, the way her gestures draw you in. Men are drawn to this energy because it feels nurturing, sensual, and alive. It's the kind of energy that makes intimacy feel natural, safe, and exhilarating all at once. When a woman exudes femininity, she's communicating without words, she's inviting, she's present, she's alive, and that energy makes men want to lean in closer. This warmth and femininity also create a space for emotional and physical connection. Men sense that they can relax, that they can be themselves, and that they are welcomed and appreciated just as they are. It's the difference between a moment that's purely transactional and a moment that's shared, meaningful, and unforgettable. Her energy encourages him to open up, to feel, and to give more of himself because he feels safe and drawn in. The most intoxicating part is how effortless it is. She doesn't have to try to seduce. Her warmth and femininity do it naturally. It's quiet, powerful, and compelling. Men remember it because it affects them on every level: mind, body, and heart. It's that combination of emotional openness, sensual energy, and soft confidence that makes her not just attractive, but irresistible. Men don't just want to be with her physically. They want to be near her energy, to bask in it, and to feel the way it awakens their own desire and vulnerability. Owning one's sensual power is perhaps the most magnetic quality a woman can have, and it's something that transcends age, size, or appearance. It's not about wearing a certain outfit or fitting into a mold of what society calls sexy. It's about presence, confidence, and the awareness of one's own body and energy. When a woman owns her sensuality, she exudes an energy that draws men in on multiple levels, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. There's a subtle but unmistakable power in a woman who knows her worth and embraces her desires without hesitation. She doesn't need permission to feel attractive, desirable, or sexual. She claims it, and that certainty is irresistible. This ownership manifests in countless ways. It can be in the way she moves with grace and intention, knowing the impact of every gesture. It can be in the way she touches her own body and expresses pleasure without apology, signaling to a man that she is fully present, fully aware, and fully alive. That awareness invites him in. It allows him to witness her energy and respond in kind. Men are drawn not just to the physicality of her body, but to the energy of confidence, passion, and self-assurance that radiates from her. It's electrifying because it's authentic. A woman who knows her sensual power isn't performing. She's being herself in the most complete and liberated way possible. Owning sensuality also means understanding that an intimacy are not just physical acts. They're exchanges of energy, emotion, and attention. A woman who owns her sensual power doesn't just focus on what a man wants. She knows what she wants and she pursues it unapologetically. That reciprocity and balance transform intimacy into something deeper and more memorable. She engages with curiosity, joy, and intensity, creating experiences that are both erotic and emotionally fulfilling. Men respond to this naturally because it allows them to step into their own desire without pressure or expectation. Beyond the bedroom, sensual power is evident in how she carries herself in everyday life. It's the confidence in her laughter, the assertiveness in her voice, the way she occupies space without apology. Men notice this, even subconsciously, because sensuality isn't only skin deep. It's a combination of body language, self-assurance, and the courage to be fully seen. Ultimately, a woman who owns her sensual power changes the dynamic in any relationship. She doesn't need to convince a man to be attracted to her. Her energy does it effortlessly. She doesn't chase validation, she creates it for herself. And men can't help but respond not just to her physical presence, to the undeniable force of her confidence, her self-love, and her unapologetic embrace of her own desire. Owning sensual power is about being unapologetically herself, and that is what makes her unforgettable. So let's be clear, men don't fall in love with a body type. They fall in love with a feeling. They fall for the woman who's confident enough to enjoy being herself, who doesn't hide behind insecurity, who brings warmth, laughter, and depth into every touch. So if you're a chubby woman watching this, don't you dare doubt your power. You are not less than. You're not someone's preference. You're an experience. And when a man gets to be in bed with a woman like you, one who's real, confident, sensual, and alive, trust me, he doesn't want to leave.